floating in a sea of misinformation, outright lies, and institutionalized indoctrination, floating in a sea of misinformation, outright lies, and institutionalized indoctrination,
flipping the whole paradigm of that hierarchical system on its head.
Together, we are flipping the pyramid. The corporate-controlled media, the agendized academia. The corporate-controlled media, the agendized academia.
Flipping the whole paradigm of that hierarchical system on its head.
We must first understand what is really taking place, floating in a sea of misinformation, outright lies, and institutionalized indoctrination. Together, we are flipping the pyramid.
Yes, good evening and welcome to the show. This is the Reality Check with Bluebus, and it's Monday evening, once again, the 10th of September 2012. Welcome along, everybody. Hope everybody's connected. I know we've had some trouble with the server tonight. A few servers have gone down by the looks of things. Don't know if it's weather related, but we're having quite a bad little storm up here at the moment. I went to the shop about an hour ago and it was light, and when I came out of the shop it had gone all dark and really stormy, so it's absolutely lashing it down up here now. So gremlins in the works for whatever reason, but if you do miss the show, obviously you're listening on podcast, so welcome along. Just thinking ahead, and if you are listening now, welcome along. Hope you're all doing well. Like I say, it's the weekly rant by Bluebus. Yes. What am I going to be ranting about this week? Yeah, what's been happening around the world and generally in our lives, etc. How are we all? How we're all coping? We're all feeling well. Oh, I'm rambling already, and it's only a few minutes in. Yeah, but like I say, I'm here for the next hour and a bit. Probably stay a bit longer because we've had some connection issues. It's already nearly, well, it's gone 8:15 already, so wasted a few minutes there just trying to get connected. But like I say, welcome along. Right, stuff to get into. Yeah, I've been looking at some very interesting stories that are kind of linking in from last week should I say. I'm not next week yet, thinking ahead again. But yeah, last week I was talking about earthquakes, etc., and just trying to make sense of a lot of things that are going on, you know, all these earth movements, these shifts that we're having, and looking into stuff a bit more deeply. And I should have thought about this last week, but it slipped my mind. Another sort of cause for slight concern is the pole shifting that apparently has been going on for quite some time. The geomagnetic reversal and pole shift. Now this is apparently, like I said, I've been looking into this for quite a number of years. Actually, it's been talked about. I'd say the last 3 or 4 for sure. It's been coming more and more into people's attention, especially through, you know, science links, stuff like that. But a growing number of scientists are now starting to worry that it is the magnetic pole shift that seems to be underway that is the real culprit behind all of these problems we're having, climate change or volcanic activity, etc. I've got a good article here which I'll stick in because it's quite an in-depth one. I bookmarked this actually ages and ages ago. I looked at the bookmark, I found it in a folder because I thought I've definitely got stuff on this, and this is quite a decent little article which I found last year. It said earlier on this year, March the 12th or something like that, which is a few months ago now, but I'd forgotten about it. And again, lots of stuff that I bookmark and go through each week. Some things I do miss out, and not because I don't want to read about them, it's just that I can't fit it all in, or I've forgotten or whatever, and I've gone off on some mad tangent somewhere else, and the whole show's been gobbled up by me endlessly ranting on. But this is a good story. It says, not man-made air pollution, not the sun, and not the underground volcanic activity heating up the oceans, but the slow beginning of a pole shift that has been thought to destroy entire civilizations. Bit of fear there, but in the past this be one in the past and be one major factor in mass extinctions. NASA recently discovered released information about a major breach in the Earth's magnetic field. I'll stick this link in because this is quite a long link, or story should I say. Hopefully they do work for me. I've switched browsers, by the way, because I had trouble with the server, so I'm on Firefox with this tonight, so hopefully it hangs together and doesn't do anything it shouldn't do. If this doesn't come out, guys, just bear with me. Yeah, there we go. You should be able to link to that. Yeah, so I want to get into that a little bit, because I mean, I was talking about these whales being beached and animals getting lost, and I mean, if the poles are shifting, and obviously according to scientists etc they are, and they're somewhere over, you know, magnetic north is somewhere in Siberia or not far off according to this, and also I saw stories not that long ago regarding them changing magnetic north for autopilot, you know, to land the plane in the right place, and they've had to change transponders, reprogram them, etc., to facilitate this shift in the pole. And what this is actually doing is, as this is shifting, the electromagnetic frequencies that are coming off from the poles and going round to the south like a big arc around the Earth and round again. There's big holes appearing in this magnetosphere as it's doing this, and these magnetic frequencies are being, if you like, taken out of their normal route, and scientists are, you know, basically looking into this in quite a way. It's not obviously something you're going to see on the BBC or any mainstream media outlet for that matter, because they wouldn't want you to know about this, and I'm going to go into a story about how this can actually have an effect on us. And a story came out about how the electromagnetic fields affects our body, our brain, how we function, as we're all connected, as I keep saying, as we're all sort of part of this planet, we're part of this system, and we vibrate and interact with it in an energetic level we're not even aware of. So this is nothing really to be frightened of, in the sense that, you know, there isn't, if people talk apocalypse and disaster, whatever, but you know, I wouldn't buy into that sort of area of it, because I think from an energy level we are, you know, we do coexist in this energy, and anything that's obviously beamed from the sun or from anything, any shifts, any energy shifts are going to have an effect. And we can see that happening with things like radiation from the sun, you know, the solar flares, etc., the CMEs coming off the sun, and all of these solar rays, etc., plus the shift in the poles, is all having an effect on us people upon the planet. And don't worry, it's fine, we'll be fine. It's just that we're becoming more aware, more alert. We're waking up. This is actually a awakening process, in the sense that scientists have actually looked into this and gone back, and this has happened many times upon the planet. And as you can see from the data on this link, it's, you know, like I say, it'll take you some time to read through all of this, but it was just another another piece for discussion, really. Bring it up for debate. I mean, polar shifts, etc. I mean, there's enough here to suggest that there's definitely something going on. And like I say, I've been reading about these things for quite some time, this particular subject, and the evidence does suggest we are shifting. Our planet is changing. Our Earth is moving. The electromagnetic frequencies are shifting, which is obviously affecting the underneath the Earth, the crust. It's moving, and I've no doubt the CMEs do have, you know, a play in that as well. So there's an awful lot going on electromagnetically. We can't see, we can't touch, we can't feel, but it's happening, and it is having an impact upon us as human beings. And the story I wanted to sort of touch upon, just to link into that, was the 2012 and electromagnetic effects on consciousness is the story, is the headline. This is just a blog, again, an interesting breakdown of how this is actually happening, and some interesting bits of the article. I'll post it in a sec. Again, you'll probably take a week to read through the one I've just posted, but this one again is equally kind of longish, but it does explain how chemical changes, again, scientists, and this is all, provable, how the brain actually reacts to basic ranges of frequencies, etc. And this guy called Dieter Broers, who's posted this article, goes into it in quite some depth. I'll stick the link in. It's I can't remember when I saw this link. I think I saw this link. Was it today? I think it was today. No, it was April the 19th. Yes, get the date right. Yeah, April the 19th. Again, these are sort of things that are still out there, still having an effect, and I've probably mentioned this in my shows in the past. But it's worth noting now because it's becoming more and more apparent that we're having more and more of these types of anomalies occur. And with the shifts happening on the planet to explain all of the earthquakes and strange weather phenomenon that we've been having, droughts, extreme rainfalls, etc. in Europe, especially in this country, washout summer we had, and we've been getting lots of hottest, driest, coldest, wettest on record type statistics being thrown at us this past couple of years, especially. So it's becoming more apparent that there's something not kind of going the way it should be as a normal season would pan out, especially in the countries you live in. You know what your weather does. I mean, you know it has a regular pattern, and there will be changes sometimes. There will be freak storms now and again, but we're getting more and more and more. It's more and more frequent now. It seems that every other month that goes by, we're hitting or breaking some kind of record in the weather stats or in that area. So it's interesting that when you look at the this phenomenon of a pole shift as well added into it, and you look at the article and you have a look at it and you go, you sort of get your head around it. Basically, it does make fascinating information, which needs to be noted. And again, there's links, there's sources to the stories within that article. So have a look. But as far as the individual is concerned and how that's affecting us, there's some interesting work being done in various universities. Moscow University physicist here called Pyotr Anokhin feels that the aforementioned estimate of possible interactions in the human brain is unduly low. It says, according to his calculations, the potential number of structures that the human brain can create is so large that writing them out as a figure would translate into a line approximately 6.5 million miles long. So clearly we have not even begun to tap into the amazing potential of our brains, a situation that can be likened to using an area the size of a dust particle and a 500-room mansion. And these are just little bits. There was another part I wanted to sort of read out regarding his the guy who's wrote this article, who's wrote this book. He's gone into some detail about how they were studying with EEG waves, etc. And says, some years ago I was part of a research team that measured the brain waves of test subjects at regular intervals via EEG. It says, we found that specific electromagnetic fields sporadically acted on the test subjects' brains without their being aware of this phenomenon. One of our most striking findings was that the test subjects' brain waves could be altered via exposure of the brain to electromagnetic waves. And as if this weren't astonishing enough, we also found that we could even control the test subjects' brain waves using these fields. For example, the EEG frequency of a test subject with a predominant baseline frequency of 10 Hz could be increased to 12 Hz each time we expose the subject to an exogenous 10 Hz electromagnetic field that was then increased to 12 Hz. We concluded from this that I can't even say this word, endogenous rhythms are governed by their exogenous counterparts. These experiments convinced me beyond a shadow of a doubt that human cells and electromagnetic fields do in fact interact, and this may be in fact be one of the primary reasons why I decided to write this book. He says here, these findings are also opened my eyes to processes that were fundamental, important for my own research, blah, 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 blah. But the fact of the matter is that these electromagnetic waves, which are coming not only from our own planet as we speak, but also from outside, the sun, etc., these are all having a play and having an effect on how we are, feeling generally. And it can trigger, instant kind of responses in people in sometimes a negative or a positive way. But what we're seeing more and more of is people starting to, if you like, become more sharper mentally sometimes, a bit more, thinking a bit more sharply than they ever did. Maybe as we progress down the field of wanting to know more and more knowledge, this is where people are being led. People are being led to search out, information. They're becoming more understanding. And we're seeing this happening. We're seeing this happening across the world. We're seeing more and more people, more and more internet action. Of course, I mean, this is where we're all gravitating towards. We see the information just spewing out every angle. We've got information that is disinformation plus good information, but there's more good information coming out, and there are more avenues to find out and to question more, and to send you on a road to some more knowledge. And this is what's happening. So all of these kind of energetic changes, even though we can't feel them sometimes, or we're not aware of them, we are becoming more and more, if you like, affected by them. And the Earth certainly is. That's evidence. The physical evidence we can see is the Earth, shifting and moving. And we've had some of the largest, earthquakes in the last couple of years we've ever had. And the last few months, we've had a 6 and a 7 now is kind of almost like, oh, it was only a 7.5, oh, it was only a 6.8. 20 years ago, these were massive quakes. These were huge news stories. These were devastating. But they're happening in areas, fortunately, where they're not causing too much, destruction and death amongst the people. So in a way, it's not too bad. But the way that some of the fault lines are, about to go, that may not be the case in the near future. But let's hope that doesn't happen. But all I'm saying is that there's more activity on the planet, and we can see that evidenced each day wherever you choose to look. Even the mainstream media will report, the earthquakes sometimes. Not all of the time, because if you go and you look, I mean, I saw something like, it was, what are we today, Monday? I think it was Saturday. I was looking somewhere, and I think there was something like 6 or 7, something like that, more than 5 in magnitude, 5.6s, 5.8, some 6.2, 6.3, that kind of level, and that was in just one day. So all scattered across various regions of these fault lines, just so you can see there's movement occurring, there's a shift within and underneath the planet happening. So just more interest in that with this magnetic pole shift. So I thought I'd mention that this week, because last week I think I did go on slightly about earthquakes, we're all going to die. It wasn't meant to be like that at all. It was just to point out something that's actually happening, and it's becoming more and more frequent and more powerful. And I don't think people are, we are, or I am, and some of us in here are we're paying attention, but a lot of people aren't. A lot of people aren't paying attention to these huge increases in the Earth's activity, and it is affecting us as well, like I say, on top. But we'll get into more of that in a set. So I wanted to also, where's that other link that I had? Moving on to something a bit more, but actually what I'll do, I'm going to play some music, because with all these delays and everything else, I've managed to sort of get myself a bit confused on my bookmarks. So I'm going to take 2 minutes just to sort that out, because I had to shut down everything and start again before. So I'll play a tune and I'll come right back. I'll play you, this one. I wanted to play this last week, but I couldn't find it. But yeah, it's a good old tune, this. So hope you like this, and I'll be back in a mo. Yeah, Ian Dury, and What a Waste. Yeah, great tune that, from the 70s. Welcome back. It's the reality check with Bluebus. Sound like a right old man. Nice tune from the 70s, that, yeah. What a great man Ian Dury was. If you don't know his music, check it out. It was a good, a brilliant songwriter. Told it how it was, didn't take any shit off anybody, and if you read his life story, it's fascinating reading. It's interesting stuff. But but welcome back. I've sorted myself out. Like I say, we've had some difficulties with the service tonight, so bear with us. If you're still trying to connect, then keep trying, because I'm going to be on for another while. Not that you can hear me, but obviously the podcast. Welcome along. So, like I say, reality check. And first bit, I was talking about just the Earth changes, the energetic changes on the planet, and how we are, yes, believe it or not, linked to that in an energetic way, in a deeper spiritual connection that you can't see, taste, touch, or feel at the moment. But if you get into it, you can certainly feel it. You can certainly feel energy. That's something that I've been sort of working on the last few days, actually, trying to get myself back into some kind of like state of like, if you like, just, I wouldn't say balance, but just trying to sort of relax. I've been feeling quite anxious this last week or so. We were talking about this the other week. I don't know if it's anything to do with this energy or whatever's happening, but I had a bit of trouble sleeping last week, and unlike me, I'm normally sleep like a log. You can hang me on a washing line and I'll fall asleep normally, but it's last week for some reason been feeling a bit sort of, bit strange, a bit weird. I don't know, I can't put my finger on it. Anxious and a little bit sort of waiting to go kind of thing, I don't know, just weird. But so I was doing some meditation to try and alleviate that kind of feeling within myself, and it has done something. Yes, it's sort of I could feel the energy again flowing through me. It's interesting if you do work with that. I did an exercise a while back on Blog Talk about how to sort of, do a little exercises with colours, etc., and if you can feel anything around you or inside, or warmth or heat, that sort of thing. They're all little good exercises. You can find them all on YouTube, whatever, and you can try them for yourself. And meditation and things like that are very good things to check out, because they can calm your mind, and then afterwards, a few hours after, you tend to feel less stressed, less anxious, whatever. But I think there's an energy shift going on. I've suffered this for a while myself, since say 10 years. I've recognised them more for what they are, these sort of shifts in energy, these kind of feelings where for some reason or another, once every month or two, you just for about 3 or 4 days just feel not yourself, or feel a little bit tired, or whatever it may be, and then it soon passes, and then you're fine. And I think I'm going through one of those stages at the moment. And then reading about magnetic pole shifts, which I've known about, like I say, for a while, it just kind of reminds me that things are going on, things are happening we're not aware of, because we're busy doing what we do, and we're focused in areas which are taking all of our attention. It's very interesting stuff. But one of the stories I wanted to get into was a couple, actually, back to back, kind of like Orwellian state is here stories. I saw one out of the Telegraph. The EU are funding an Orwellian artificial intelligence plan to monitor public for abnormal behaviour, it says here. And this came out again. It's a story that came out a few weeks. What was it now? The 10th of... This came out last year, so I don't know where. Again, I've been digging out stories and all sorts, which there's a 5-year research program called Project Indect, aims to develop computer programs which act as agents to monitor and process information from websites, discussion forums, file servers, peer-to-peer networks, and even individual computers. Like we've been talking on here for quite some time regarding these agendas of data collection, biometrics, all sorts, all linking into this, this lockdown of your freedoms and this monitoring of where you are at all times society, which I think they seem to be pushing for more and more these days. It says its main objectives include the automatic detection of threats and abnormal behaviour or violence, and we've seen more and more people, if you like, using social networking sites being thrown in jail or put in mental institutions. We've seen recently, especially in America, people writing things have been declared insane by authorities. But over here in the UK, this project has received nearly £10 million in funding from the European Union. It involves the police service of Northern Ireland, and computer scientists at New York University, in addition to colleagues in 9 other European countries. It says here the director, who's called Shami Chakrabarti, the director of Human Rights Group. Sorry, he's not part of this. Sorry, from the Human Rights Group Liberty, described the introduction of such mass surveillance techniques as a sinister step for any country, adding that it was positively chilling on a European scale. Yes, no doubt it is. As the in-depth research began this year, comes as the EU is pressing ahead with an expansion of its role in fighting crime, terrorism and managing migration, and increasing its budget in these areas by 13.5% to nearly £900 million of our money. Yes, it's our money. This is all ours, and they're using it for this. It's anyway. But the other story that linked into this I saw today, which was about the coming out of Moses birthmarks. Be damned. The FBI has officially started rolling out a state-of-the-art face recognition project. This is in the States. Will assist in their effort to accumulate and archive information about each and every American at a cost of $1 billion. You see, it's nearly the same price. You know, there's nearly $1 billion over here in Europe, or 900 million, best part, and you've got $1 billion being spent in America. The FBI has reached a milestone in the development of their next generation identification, which is called NGI program, and is now implementing the intelligence database in unidentified locals across the country. New Scientist reports in an article this week. It says the FBI has outlined the project back in 2005, explaining to the Justice Department in an August 2006 document, and it's got a link here, so I'll stick the link in. It's a PDF. It says the new system will eventually serve as an upgrade to the current integrated automated fingerprint identification system. And keeps track of citizens with criminal records across America. It says the NGI program is a compilation of initiatives that will either improve or expand existing biometrics identification services. So both sides of if you like, the world are, America and the UK, Europe, and all those countries are all, quite, just rolling this out. Just there you go. We're just doing this, and we're just gonna monitor you, and it's for your own safety and for your own protection, of course. That's how it's always sold. It's always sold with your rights intact and for your benefit. So stop moaning about it, will you? Stop complaining. It's for your benefit. They want to know where you are at all times. It's for your protection. They want to know what you're right. They want to know what you're even thinking. They want to know all these things, and they're putting your money, our money, into that, spending our tax money on these, these crazy paranoid freaks who control us, who think they control us, who like to think that they've got, us all under their wing of control and protection. Selling us their bullshit continually. Amazing, it's amazing. And this is just a tip of the iceberg of the money spent. I mean, we say many times on here and on other shows just how much money is being wasted and pumped out into military use, into this kind of technology, stuff that is basically just selling all of your freedoms down the river and taking everything away from you in a very subtle, clever way. Using the gadgets and the shiny things that we all want and crave for. We must have this, we must have that. They buy into our, if you like, our emotional state. What keeps us happy. Very important, and they work it very cleverly. They work it at a very clever angle. Because to get you into an emotional state, you can be controlled. Yeah, Hollywood's been doing it for years. Yeah, that orchestra of, bringing you up and bringing you down, making you sad, making you happy, making you angry, making you frustrated. These are the energies that they work with. These are the emotions that they use to control how you're going to, if you like, purchase something, going to buy something. Putting those ideas out there, making people sort of follow trends, follow fashion, follow all this nonsense. So you become separated even more from each other. You get the emotional energy of anger or jealousy, which is people want more things, consume, we must keep going, and this is how it works. It's working on an emotional level with us. And you can see through it. You know it's real because you watch TV. If you're ever sitting there suddenly, filling up, oh, X Factor, oh, he's such a good you know what I'm saying? It's true. It's how it's designed. It's designed to, if you like, feed you emotionally, to satisfy you, to make you feel good, to make you feel like you're worth something, when all it's really done is just maybe for a few seconds make you feel just a little bit better, but then you back to where you were the next day or in a few hours, because these things don't last, because it's just an emotional state they get you into, and they play with your emotions, and it's been going on for thousands of years, guys. This isn't anything new. This is all sort of ancient stuff. It's just done in a more sophisticated way now, with the type of living that we have now, with the technologies available and the means at which they can get to you, and if you like, use this through all sorts of areas, all sorts of places, like I say, Hollywood, the movies, news, everything. It's all working at that emotional level, keeping you, if you like, very subservient. They know all the answers, they know what to do, your government will help you, etc., 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 keeping people in that zone. And a lot of people are still in that zone, but a lot of people are now beginning to move away from that, thank goodness, and are beginning to realise the game is up, and they're taking control for themselves now. And it's a long process. It can be long, it can be very quick, and I think in this day and age now, it's so much more even easier, if you like, for the information available for people to get very clued up very quickly if they wish to. Just their own personal freedom and just what their governments are doing. Like I was saying on last week's show, certain stages of, like, knowing the truth and getting to knowledge, and knowing what's going on and why is it the way it is, and why does the banks do this, why does the government do that, why does the doctors do that, why is it the way it is, why is education the way it is? Well, they didn't teach me that in school. Well, no, they wouldn't. I said this before, if they're teaching truth in schools, we wouldn't have the nonsense we've got now, because they don't. They want you to be just educated for work, really. That's ultimately what they want you to be educated for, not for anything else. Not so it's self-knowledge and it's going to be creative and you're good. No, you have to fit in within the system and take your place on the line, whatever it may be, on the factory work line, or in the queue, wherever it may be. Unfortunately now, so many people out of work, so many people suffering, so many people having difficulties, and we're just seeing the society just, if you like, almost tear itself apart in frustration with what's going on. But the answers are all there, and people just need to look a little bit more deeply, and not use the tube or the TV or whatever as your means for knowledge, or just even relaxation anymore, because it is just what it is. It's just mind control. Obviously, choose what you want to watch, but it's just, like I say, the mainstream TV is the one really to give a wide berth to, because these are the people still selling those ideas out there, still planting their seeds, still working at your emotional levels, and keeping you in that emotion, like I say, keeping you in that zone, in that state. So it's very difficult for you to move on. And people find it so hard, to switch off the soap opera that they've been watching for 10 years, totally addicted to it. Oh my God, I've watched it for 10 years, it's my life. Don't say it's wrong, don't say it's mind control, don't say... You know what I'm saying? I mean, people do look at you like you're crazy. You have to leave. I have to leave the room now if the soap operas are on. If I'm around someone's house and TV it's on, I get up and walk out. I did that the other day. I had to do it. I couldn't sit there and watch that. It's just, and the look on the faces, how they're so interested. Oh yes, what's going to happen next? Oh yes, this has been on my mind all day. That's the problem. It's a good distraction. Stops you thinking about other things, and all working on subtle levels, like I say, emotional levels. All of these things, dramas, whatever, they're working on that same emotional level, just like our government does, and people in control, people who have higher status than us, people who are telling us what to do, that kind of thing. So yeah, all very interesting. But as I waffle on. But yeah, these systems are rolling out as we speak, and you're just going to see more and more of this kind of technology, more of this Big Brother getting even more invasive. They got us, if you like, desensitized with the CCTV cameras, stuck them everywhere, every conceivable street and alleyway, whatever. Every petrol station, every workplace now is CCTV'd up and has surveillance monitors, cameras everywhere. So they've got us desensitized with that level, if you like, of it's okay, it's for your protection. And now they're rolling out the more sophisticated types, which are already in use. And they're just getting more and more blatant with what they're doing. And like I say, the next thing will be the spy in the sky. We won't have police helicopters anymore because they'll be deemed too expensive to run, and they'll be sending the drones up, the unmanned vehicles, which will be the spy in the sky, and they'll become a commonplace if we let things go the way they are. But they've certainly got these things penciled in for the next, I'd say, 7 or 8 years' time. We'll be seeing these things flying around our skies, and we won't be able to do anything about it. Maybe we could try and bring them down, but that's something we'll have to look forward in the future to. But it's something that is happening. It's going to happen, and if we don't stop it and we don't, we conform, if you like, to this, then they're just going to keep rolling out the agenda until people say enough is enough. No, I don't want my fingerprint. No, I don't want. I don't want biometrics. Sorry, my database just updated there and told me. Sorry. No, I don't want all of this. I don't want you to take my, my blood or whatever it may be they want to take. You have to stand up and not buy into this technology. Unfortunately, though, too many people already have. And see it as a benefit to them. Now, like I say, if it's of a benefit, yes, it's good. But unfortunately, for all the reasons I've mentioned, that's the reason. That's just to, if you like, the carrot and the stick. That's to give you the impression it's for your own benefit, when in actual fact, it is for theirs. It is a total. You are just a product in the end. You are the product. You will just be sold to at every angle, everywhere you go. Plus, they will know where you are as well. They will be able to track, monitor you, and if you like, remove you from their system if they don't like what you're saying or doing. Again, freedom of speech has been, as we've seen the last few years, and tomorrow is the 11th anniversary of 9/11. We've got the 11th year now. Look what's happened in those 11 years. Amazing sort of erosion of rights. This place is not the same. You go back to 2000 and think what you could do and say and what was happening. We're living in a very, very different place now. We're living in a place where they're just invading countries left, right, and centre. They were doing that, if you like, before 9/11, but the way it's accelerated, the way it's being pushed into your face as being the right thing to do, sold on democracy and freedom, it's just become sick, really. It's and we're 11 years into that now, and obviously I won't go into 9/11. I've not done I haven't got enough time to go into that, and that's a whole other area in itself. But just the fact that just look at what's happened since that day, since that so-called terror attack, and the subsequent wars that have taken place. And it was the catalyst for Iraq, obviously Afghanistan, Iraq, and now we just see it moving slowly across. We've got countries like Libya now, and we've got the problems in Syria still. We've got Iran still, being demonized by even William Hague the other day, touting for war again with Iran and claiming they have this nuclear capability. Just beggars belief that people are not even doing the basic research and looking at the reasons why Iran have nuclear power. It's safe nuclear power. It's for energy. It's for their running of their homes and their factories. It's not being used to develop a weapon. And they are a legitimate state who have every right to use that energy. But William Hague, I'll get you the link in a minute, but he's still rattling on regarding Iran. So they're still pushing. We still have these people who just want to continually keep going with this agenda of more and more, death, war, invasion. We don't like horrible people. Well, people we disagree with, we'll just get rid of them. People are needing to sort of really realise this, but just see 11 years on what they're doing, how blatant they are now. They do not give a shit. They will tell you this country, and they will blatantly lie to you. You have the evidence. You know they're lying, but they will still pump it out. It's evidence even more of how corrupt and how it's all run by psychopathic people who just want war continually. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. I don't know, but I'll find that link now, because it was William Hague, and I think came out of Press TV. Here we go, the little man, William Hague. British Foreign Secretary William Hague has called on the European Union to beef up sanctions against Iran over its nuclear energy programme. Now, again, as I said, if you just go and look into some of this so-called are they developing a weapon, etc. Argument by them. If you look at the International Atomic Energy Agency, which Iran are a member of, which they allow people to come in, they will check that they're doing everything correct, everything is above board, they're not making anything dodgy, they haven't got that kind of program in place, they've been doing this for years, and everything's fine. Funnily enough, though, the only nation that hasn't signed up to the Non-Proliferation Treaty and this International Atomic Energy Agency is Israel. Yes, Israel. Yes. Do Israel have nuclear weapons? Well, they seem to not want to say that they have, but it's unbelievable. So we have this double speak continually, going on and on and on, and they just won't give up. So here we are, left with lies and half truths by this so-called excuse for news and media that we find ourselves in, and just unbelievable how people just haven't got around the fact that they are just a bunch of lying bastards. So unbelievable. I did have a little link to something from a few weeks ago regarding that Israel denial of having nuclear weapons, or basically how they avoid the question, let's put it that way, how they cleverly avoid the question. Various people being asked outright, Barack Obama being one of them, do Israel have nuclear weapons? And it's like, well, America, let's go to America. They don't want to answer it because they know they are covering up this fact, and people linking now, a lot of evidence to suggest that 9/11 had Israeli connections as very, very strong, and there seems to be, like I say, the agenda for the Middle East seems to have played nicely into the Israeli hands over that time, where they're getting most of their potential enemies being taken down, one less to worry about for the paranoid freaks in control of Israel. Again, the governments, not the people. This isn't against the people. This is not against the, these are all the corrupt governments, our governments, the ones in the UK, America. It's us, the people, who are letting this happen. It's us who are letting it, if you like, carry out by participating within the system. And it needs a mass wake-up for us all to go, no. What happens if nobody voted and everyone said, no, we're not voting anymore, it's a pointless exercise, and let's look at the programme and see something different. We need to basically throw this old model away which doesn't work and start with something new. So that's where we need to be, and I rattle on every week about it, but I need to, because it's something that always, it never leaves me. Just the people that aren't quite there yet, but if there was enough of us, we would all go, that's enough. Like I say, a whole street saying no, or a whole town, or a whole city, or a whole country. These are the numbers that they cannot cope with. They cannot continually get away with what they get away with. It's only because we let them. We consent to everything. We're giving our money away left, right, and centre. And this is a time for, time to stand up and be counted. Time to sort of, make sure that you know who you are, and you don't let people say extract money from you illegally, or you stand up for yourself. You don't recognise status. You recognise human beings. And you don't want to create any violence or anger, but you are certainly not going to let somebody push you around and demand things off you when they've no right to. especially when you know who you are. And they have no right to tell you anything, or you have your own self-responsibility. Self-management program is in place, thank you very much, and I don't need you to tell me. Obviously you can follow advice and things like that, that's cool, but again, you're not being forced into something by somebody else, especially government or whoever it may be. You're doing it because you want to do it, you're thinking for yourself, and that's so important. And again, something I continually go on about, thinking for yourself and not being influenced. See through the smokescreen, see through the charade. Like I say, it's a wonderful thing when you see it play out. That's the one thing that's always fascinated me, the way it plays out. And to sort of be aware and then watch something, say TV as an example. The TV was on the other day and I was around at my daughter's, and there we are, and I could see this, how it works, what the agenda is, and how these programs are, subliminally throwing ideas out there, little things that you wouldn't notice normally, where you're just sitting there comatose, dribbling, blah, 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 watching your HD, or your 3D with cross eyes or whatever. It's that kind of thing. People just get zoned out, and the TV is a good example to see things actually play out when you become aware of what's going on, and then you can see just one little thing with that, and then leads to another, and then you can see how you're being manipulated and controlled by your very government through taxation, through taking money off you illegally all of the time. It's illegal. They're not allowed to take anything off you because we let them. We consent to it, so they just come and take it. And this is where we're at. But we think it's normal because we've been so massively conditioned and massively propagandized and socially engineered that we can't see through it. We can't see, the wood for the trees of truth. We can't see the trees because we're stuck in there. The awareness is just so narrow and so small, and we can't see what's going on. We're just stuck in a muddle of it all. So yeah. Anyways, waffled a lot, so I'm going to play another song, and let me see, what have I got here? Right, okay, I'll be back in a sec. Play a bit of this. Hi guys, sorry about that, a bit of a delay, but yeah, welcome back. It's the Reality Check with Bluebus, and don't forget as well, check out all the other shows on the website. There's plenty of shows coming up. There's Ian on Wednesday evening with For the Punks. Check out that show, really good. I did miss it last week, sorry about that. I'll be hopefully back in tune on Wednesday, so check that out. And on Thursday we have Hairy Cookie Monster with the virtual shamanizing on Thursday between 9 and 11, and Red is back on again Friday with his conscious beats and rap and lyrical tunes, etc. Excellent stuff from Red between 9 and 11 on Friday evening, and Sunday as well we have Keelan with the Wide Shut webcast between 8 and 9. But check out the site, there's been a load of new changes, and become a member, join up, and get involved in the chat when we're doing the shows live. It'd be always good to chat to you and stuff. But like I say, there are all the shows coming up, and the website as well is flippingthepyramid.co.uk, and loads of news stories and articles, etc., and loads of good videos as well. Check out the video section, loads of great vids that people have, some of the members have posted on there, well worth checking out. But like I say, welcome back. This is the last bit of the show. I did have a link I wanted to load, and it won't load. It says server not found. I don't know why that is, but anyway, just wanted to talk about a couple of other things. I did notice that one of the royals is off to Afghanistan in dramatic fashion to fly his Apache helicopter to fight against the Taliban and bomb all those people. Look at those people, boom, boom, boom. And his little helicopter, off he goes. Harry is off to Afghanistan. Just another hit piece from the Daily Fail, but what made me think, I mean, just the way it is actually put up. I'll stick it in the chat because it shows a picture here of the Apache helicopter and its killing capabilities. Yes, all in its glory here. Hopefully this works so you can have a look. It's a obviously a hit piece, to big it all up. War is good. There he is, giving a big thumbs up. Off he goes to sit in his little helicopter and go and fire off some bombs and guns. Madness, absolute madness. But that was one thing I always wanted to mention. The other one was this story I've seen, but it won't load for some reason, is regarding the organic food story. I don't know if anyone caught that, regarding a report coming out, a couple of reports I saw coming out the States recently and the UK, saying again organic food and anything that's organic is no good, it's just the same, it's just, it's the usual bullshit we get from our mainstream. And funnily enough, that story was coming out of some professor, blah-de-blah, and I can't remember because I can't get the link up, sorry guys, but apparently the people linked to this, the scientists linked to this story, which was saying that this food is not, just the same as any other food. Funnily enough, the scientists were being funded by tobacco giants and all sorts of corporations who have obviously got an interest in demonising anything healthy because they want you to buy and eat their shit all of the time. So there's a link there. I'll try and get that up for next week, but it just basically blows wide open that these are all just stories to, they have an agenda. They want you not to, eat healthily. They want you to eat their rubbish and their chemicals, etc. And they will obviously say, when they're being paid enough for scientists, when they're being bought off, if you like, they get their funding for another 5 years or whatever it is they get, and their nice little bonus, they'll say anything. They will say wonderful things about shit, basically shit food, horrible food. They will say it's wonderful, it won't kill you, so to them it's okay, and I've been paid, thank you very much, goodbye. And that's basically how it works. So all of these, so-called stories from these, there was one written about, I think, someone saying butter was not any good to eat. It was, you're better off using these margarines and these awful spreads, the flora rubbish and all this. And someone did point it out. I think it was Lee saying that it's one molecule away from being a plastic bag if you eat sort of spreads of that nature. So they were demonising butter, and funnily enough, the guy who was being funded, he was being funded by the people who made flora. Yay! So he's going to say that butter's horrible, isn't he? And it's bad for you, and you're going to die. Eat more of our plastic crap. That's good for you. That will lower your cholesterol, which is absolute bollocks anyway, because there is a story coming out about cholesterol, which I did see today, and it blows a hole in the myth of cholesterol and being being the cause of heart attacks. I just hope this link works. It seems my links have gone down. Oh dear. What am I going to do? But yeah, the cholesterol link, where is it? Where's it gone? Here we go. Hopefully this one works. And no is a problem though. So obviously natural news is down for some reason. The server is not found, so that's gone off. So all my natural news stories are cancelled till next week. But it was about cholesterol anyway, and it says, if I remember rightly, cholesterol itself is not bad for you, a high cholesterol level. Basically what the story was saying, if I can remember, was that the reason for people having these kinds of, if you like, inflamed arteries is that it's inflammation, and inflammation caused by eating refined sugars and a bad diet generally, which causes your body to go into a response. Your blood vessels, etc., especially in your heart, will become inflamed, and it's the inflammation that causes the heart attack and causes someone to become ill or have a heart problem. It's not the cholesterol itself. You need cholesterol. Cholesterol is something that your body needs to create to coagulate cells when they break down. So the actual inflammation, which is caused by the food, by the high sugar, whatever it is, whatever crap we've been eating these last 20 or 30 years and told that is good for us, this is the main cause. So diet is key, and understanding what you're eating and understanding what the food is doing to you is very, very important. I know a few people in here have got a bit more sort of savvy with that kind of thing, and it's important to know what nutrition you are actually eating. And okay, on occasions we all fall into the trap of, yes, I will devour an entire packet of biscuits some nights, yes, I will do all these things, but it's about balance. And if that's all you're eating, and your diet is full of high sugar, GMO and these awful fructose syrup type diets and all these things that are put into crisps and all sorts of savoury foods as well, you wouldn't believe where all this stuff ends up. This is just worth knowing. I did see I want to just mention about, and I've been taking this for a year because I'm a good advocate for this actually, because I've been using it for about 12 months now. It's the use of organic coconut oil. I've mentioned this before, and some interesting studies coming out of the Natural Society stating that coconut oil actually is good for, even now, it's good for your dental health. It kills deadly bacteria which causes gum disease and causes problems in the mouth, etc. And if you've got a diet with coconut oil, there's an element within the coconut oil which will destroy that. I'll stick the link in the chat so you can have a look at this. And another interesting one that did come out was studies linking this coconut oil to Alzheimer's and prevention of Alzheimer's, because again it's fatty, it's a fatty acid. It's got that kind of property which can feed your brain, so to speak. And the other one, let me just get the link for that, was regarding the Alzheimer's. Where's it gone? There we go. Preventing and reversing, it says here, which is interesting. And this comes out of Truth Theory, which I saw a while back. I did link this a while back, and this says about a study that was done testing people who were suffering from Alzheimer's, memory loss, etc. And they found it to have improved, if you like, an uptake of a certain chemical which your brain needs to function in this way to remember things. So have a look at that link as well. So there's all sorts going on. I haven't got time to read them all out, but they're interesting links anyway. And like I say, I've been using this for about a year, and I've found no ill effects whatsoever, and if anything, it's actually improved, I think, my overall health. I think I can pretty much I tend to eat what I like these days, as long as I use that oil within the food as well what I cook. It seems to have done really good things. So and it always gives me plenty of energy in the morning, which is what I need, because it does convert it straight to energy when it hits your liver. And if you do some, like I say, looking into the organic cold pressed coconut oil, by the way, not just any coconut oil, it has to be a specific cold pressed organic. That's your best one to get. You can get them online. They're not cheap, but you're looking about, say, you can get it down to about £8 a tub. But it's a superfood as well, and if you have it, you tend to find you want more of it. It's weird how it affects you, because these superfoods have that weird effect where you're eating something that's so bloody good for you, you can't get enough of it. And again, it's things that are not really sold. They want you to buy your horrible, addictive, excitotoxin addicted drinks and foods, which are just, nutritionally devoid of anything really, other than making you think that you've had something, nice to eat and you might feel full, but your body has absorbed not very much nutrition, and again, doing that too much will, tend to lead to some ill health, because your nutritional level in your body is just so low over a period of time. So they're all things to look at. Like I say, I don't know why. Yeah, you can get it cold pressed stock. Don't worry, it's definitely the one to go for. Just seeing the chat. I don't normally see the chat 'cause I'm normally on the browser, but yeah. So check it out anyway. Check out those links and see what you think. And I hope you've enjoyed tonight's show. I will leave you. I'll try and get those stories for next week up. Hopefully the server's back up and running properly next week as well for us, not just for the other websites I've been trying to do tonight. But something weird going on tonight with the internet. It's all strange. It's maybe it's the pole shifts having their effect. I don't know. But anyway, hope you have a good week, everybody. Thank you very, very much for listening. And I will be back next week. Don't forget to check out Ian. He's the next show coming up on Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock here on Flipping the Pyramid. And I'll play out with a tune, and I will speak to you all next week. See you later, guys.
Flipping the pyramid. Flipping the pyramid.
Flipping the pyramid. Flipping the pyramid. Flipping the pyramid. flippingthepyramid.co.uk.
Flip the pyramid.
Turning that pyramid on its head.
Flipping the pyramid. Flip the pyramid.
Flipping the pyramid.
Flip the pyramid.
Flippingthepyramid.co.uk.
Flipping the pyramid.
Flipping the pyramid. Flippingthepyramid.co.uk. Flipping the pyramid.
Flipping the whole paradigm of that hierarchical system on its head.